Good morning to all of you. Today we are going to discuss the topic unification of Germany from the chapter Rise of Nationalism in Europe. In the previous lecture, we have already studied about Frankfurt Parliament, which is actually considered as the first step towards unification of Germany, where the liberals, they put the demand for all German National Assembly. They wanted to make Germany a constitutional monarchy. But however, this Frankfurt Parliament was disbanded. Why it was disbanded? Because they did not get support from the monarch. They did not get support from the rich landlords who were known as Junkers. These landlords, they used to get different type of favors from the king, and therefore they could not oppose the king. So when the monarchs opposed the Frankfurt Parliament, even the Junkers, the rich landlords, they also opposed it. At the same time, the Frankfurt Parliament did not get any support from peasants because the liberals had never put the demand of the peasants in forefront. They had never tried to solve the problem of the peasants. Therefore, they did not get any support from peasants also. From then onwards, Prussia and its military took up the leadership for German unification. And the chief minister of Prussia, that is Ottoman Bismarck. He was considered as the architect of unification of Germany. Now, basically, Germany was ruled by three big powers: Denmark, France, and Austria. It was ruled by these three big powers, and Germany, if Germany has to be united, then naturally it has to fight against these three big powers to achieve unification and to achieve independence. So Germany, under the leadership of Ottoman Bismarck, fought wars with these three big powers for a period of 7 years. So for a period of 7 years, Germany was involved in war. It fought the Austro-Prussian War, the German-Danish War, and the Franco-Prussian War. And ultimately, Germany was able to win all these three wars. And hence, Germany was finally united, and the ruler of Prussia, that is Kaiser William I, he was crowned the King of United Germany. So this is all about the unification of Germany. These are the three personalities whose work is commendable in the unification of Italy. We have already studied about Giuseppe Mazzini. He was a great revolutionary who had formed secret societies. He had many followers. He always believed that a nation has to be a unified nation. You cannot divide nation into small parts, but it has to be a unified nation of mankind. And that is why he always opposed monarchy system and wanted unification of Italy. Then come to Garibaldi. He was also a great revolutionary from Italy, and then Count de Cavour. We would be studying about them in detail right now. So as I had already told you that Italy was divided into 7 parts, and all were ruled by different rulers except one part, that is Sardinia Piedmont. It was under the control of Italian ruler. So the ruler of Sardinia Piedmont, Victor Emmanuel II, took up the responsibility to unite Italy into a single nation. So the ruler of Sardinia Piedmont, he took up the responsibility to unite Italy. Then the chief minister of Sardinia Piedmont, that is Count Cavour. Count Cavour, he was a great diplomat, and with his abilities, with his diplomatic abilities, he formed a group with France. France, from military point of view, it was a very strong nation. So he formed an alliance with France, and with the help of French forces, he was able to defeat the Austrian forces and take northern Italy. You know that northern Italy, it was under the control of Austrians. So the chief minister of Sardinia, Piedmont, that is Count Devor, with his diplomacy, he formed alliance with France, and with the help, together with the help of French army, he was able to defeat Austrians in the north and take the northern Italy. Then we know that in the southern part of Italy, the Bourbon kings of Spain were ruling. So now come Giuseppe Garibaldi in the scene. He was also a great revolutionary from Italy, and he took up the cause to take over the southern part of Italy. He, with his army, was able to win the support of the peasants who were living in southern Italy. These peasants living in southern Italy were exploited and dominated by the Bourbon kings. And therefore, he was able to win the support of the peasants, and with their help and support, he was able to defeat the Spanish kings. And in this way, the southern part, which included Kingdom of Two Sicilies, was also became free, and ultimately Italy was united, and Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed the King of United Italy in 1871. I hope it is clear to all of you.